Yo, how's it going guys? My name is Momplox and I hit the top 100 ranking a few times within the last two Naraka Bladepoint betas. I personally had the feeling that there was a very huge gap between experienced players and unexperienced players. When I played the game with a bunch of different people in groups, I figured out that some of them did not know about some basic tips and tricks in the game. Not only advanced tips, by the way, but also some of the main features of the game were not explained in the basic tutorial, and most of the players did not visit the advanced tutorial, which is why they probably have missed it. Since the release of the game is coming very close, I want to give you a list of tips and tricks that I wish I knew when I started playing the game, and that are not only explained in the basic tutorial. With these tips, you might be able to push your performance a lot and might be able to contest the top 100 ranking at the game's release. So let's stop talking and let's dive into the tip. As tip number 1, the game actually has a lock-on feature that you can activate by pressing escape, going to the key mapping menu and then custom shortcuts. There you can set a button for lock. This is a feature that is actually pretty useful in a 1 vs 1 situation because it helps you to keep track of the enemy and your attacks will automatically aim at the enemy. However, I do not recommend using this against multiple enemies, and also this does not work with ranged weapons. The game actually has a wall-mounted attack. This can be activated by holding left mouse button while hanging on a wall. This attack is a very good gap closing feature or countermeasure, and it has the highest melee range in-game. It can be used with every weapon in the game. You can use an uppercut attack with melee weapons. Just press the crouch button and afterwards right click, or right click after sliding on the ground. This move offers you a great opening, interrupts enemies, applies crowd control and allows you to chain into a left click air combo and a right click down slash. I really recommend you to use this attack more often, it really helps controlling the fight for real. You should really heal and shield refill as often as possible. But did you know that you can move while healing? Not only moving, you can actually keep dodging left and right by spamming the crouch button. This makes it harder for enemies to hit you while you're healing and is very effective. If it's not fixed after the release though. Many people are not aware that the Bane Breath area is actually casted by players. This can be done by buying the Earth Charms in the shop. Important to know is that the timer on the item means it can only be used for a certain amount of time, and the price of the Earth Charm depends on the timer. I recommend using this item on spawning golden chests because you and your team cannot be hit by the Bane Breath, while enemies won't enter the zone because they are basically one-shot. The spear is the only melee weapon that currently has a hidden move that depends on your timing skill. If you hold left click and release it at the exact moment when the second charge comes up, you're doing a stab attack. If you hit the stab attack and keep pressing left click afterwards, you can unleash a powerful and very long staggering combo that deals a lot of damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
The grappling hook is the most effective tool in the game. First of all, you can speed up your hook movement by pressing jump before you reach your hook's destination and reusing the hook at another location. Secondly, use it offensively as often as possible. You can prevent enemies from using their hook and fleeing by hooking them afterwards. Also, you can stagger enemies while they are fighting a teammate, which makes it hard for them to fight back at all. Alter your weapon combos and cancel your attacks more often. Using the normal weapon combos by just spamming left or right click makes your moveset predictable and you will be parried, losing your weapon in no time. For example, all experienced players know that the longsword combo or katana combo basically contains 2 light hits and a blue hit afterwards. However, if you alter your combos by pausing or, for example, adding uppercuts, this will make it harder to predict your moves. Also, did you know that you can cancel your charge attacks? Try to fool your enemies by charging up a blue attack and then cancel it with the crouch button, which allows you to, for example, use light hits afterwards. Next up we have fruits. I highly recommend you to eat fruits. You can find them all around the map on bushes and they give you buffs, which is an obvious advantage over not having buffs, of course. They provide buffs like, for example, health regeneration over time, silenced footsteps, or adding rage to unlock your ultimate earlier. This game is all around movement, so use everything that the game offers you to stay as mobile as possible. For example, jump a lot, dodge and roll more, slide as often as possible, attack out of movement, use air uppercuts and down slashes as often as possible, press crouch while in the air to drop down quickly, etc, etc. While new players will basically just try their best to hit you, you can completely outplay them with a lot of movement and dodge a lot of their attacks, so keep that in mind. Alright, so much about the basic tips that helped my friends a lot when they started playing the game and asked me for tips. Of course, we will cover weapons, characters and their skills and much more in upcoming, more detailed videos, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.